So you introduce yourself?
You want my real name or my nickname?
Whatever. Or both.
Huh?
You could do both if you want.
My name is Howard Harrison. I go by the name, my nickname is Crippin Bull. I'm from Compton, California. I'm a Palmer Blocc Crip.
So, how old were you when you joined the gang?
12.
12? So what made you want to go that route?
All the cats I looked up to was doing it. And I wanted to be just like them.
So, what was Compton like when you were growing up? If you could paint a mental picture.
It was a lot of fun back in the day. You know, as you had parks and recreations. You know, we played sports. We did all that type of stuff. They had free lunch. You know, and people really cared about each other. But now what it is, it's totally different. But as time progressed, everything started turning into from good to bad to worse.
And is that with the crack epidemic?
No, crack didn't hit until '82.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
before that, you know, people wasn't really making no money.
So is that like before or after, like when Black Panther started? What was it like?
No, Black Panther started in the '60s.
60s?
Yeah. Crippin Bull started in, you know, some people would say '69, but some people would say '71.
Wow. Something I didn't know.
Yeah.
So from being from Compton, and you've seen all of these celebrities make it out, like athletes, rappers, how does that make you feel? Like you come from a city that's so small, but yet it's famous throughout the world, not just the United States, but the world.
I like it. I like it because, you know, it made our city relevant. When, you know, if that wouldn't have happened, we'd probably just been another bunch of ghetto dudes just killing each other.
Yeah.
But when they came out and brought our, what can I say, a voice to my city,
Yeah.
it made people look at us and then try to understand us.
Yeah.
When nobody really cared. If you know, you just said you was from Compton and you didn't have no rap, no music, no tennis, no nothing, nobody would have cared.
Yeah. So growing up, if you told somebody you was from Compton today, like you gotta get like, damn.
Ghetto.
Yeah.
That's what they were saying. We ghetto. Ghetto. Because that's, like I said, that's what Compton is looked at as, the ghetto.
Yeah.
But due to, you know, all the entertainers and all that, it made people see like a different side to it. Like they got a lot of, even though they say it's small, they got a lot of people who tries to make it out of there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Tries by any means necessary.
So now, yeah, it makes a lot of noise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, before gangster rap, what type of music you guys listen to?
Oldies.
Always?
Yeah. Stylistics, Temporary, Delphonics, Blue Magic. Yeah, that's low rider music.
Yeah. Stuff my grandparents always listened to, and I listen to it too to this day.
Yeah.
So, You've actually like knew Easy? You seen him around?
I knew of him. I ain't never met him personally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But any other like rappers did you ever know?
Yeah, I know Ren. Like I said, when we was kids, we played sports against all of them. It's a lot of them that you probably don't know. Like it's like a dude named Mixmaster Spade. And they made records, but it didn't really blow up the way like Dr. Dre and all that. But I know MTA personally. Yeah, you know, his hood and his neighborhood and my neighborhood is like this. So I know him personally. Yeah. A lot of them was young when I was in jail when a lot of them dudes came out. You know, they're young. Some of them younger than my kids.
So, yeah, you actually been locked up for 25 years, right?
Yeah, on this bit. I did a state bit too. I did 7.5. Stayed out like 90 days and did 25.
Yeah. So it's good now. It's free. Huh? You actually you had a birthday recently?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful.
I bet. Yeah.
You know, everything that everybody takes for granted, I cherish it. You know.
So if you could talk to any kids out there, because I noticed BET when I was growing up was showing a lot of stuff like American Gangster, and then History Channel shows Gangland. A lot of kids try to imitate that. What do you have to say about that? Especially in the middle of America.
Yeah, that's kind of deep because you know that starts at home to let your kids know that's just TV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, gangland to me, you know, I really never really respected gangland because dudes was actually snitching, telling what they doing, showing their drugs, showing their guns.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it really didn't really make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? It really didn't make sense. It really didn't make sense. So I really didn't understand it. Yeah, I really didn't understand it. But you know, to the kids today, I would say, excuse me. Shorty. Hey Mike, I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna call you back, homie. I'm gonna call you back. Alright. Nah. Yeah, but you know, cause I got kids out there, so my whole thing with trying to tell them something, I don't believe that works to me. I believe we have to show them, let them see what you're doing. That's why I take pictures of me at work.
Yeah.
You know, going to work, you know, all that, because the average kid, you know, when they with their friends, everything their mother and father told them when they went in out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can talk to them all day, but as soon as their friends come around, they gonna do what their friends is doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So right now, today, you know, because you know a lot of people go through it. It's like trying to tell somebody what we did and what we, you know, why we did it, and nobody really cares about the past like that. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, you did that, but what are you doing now?
Oh, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? What you doing now? And you know, because there's a lot of dudes that did as much time as me back out there in the streets doing the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So You know, it's really kind of hard to, you know, sit here and say, well, I think you need to do it like this because I don't fully understand their situation, and you can't tell nobody how to eat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I told my sons, you know, if you believe in that and you will kill somebody for it and you will die for it, it's nothing I can say.
Yeah.
It's nothing I can tell you to make you understand that what you doing is wrong. Cause you believe in it.
Yeah.
You know, you saying you will lay down and die for what you believe in. So who am I to change it?
Yeah, especially if they already grown up, man.
Yeah,
You already have your mind made up.
but you got young cats that's hungry.
Yeah.
So how you gonna tell a young cat how to eat? If you grow up in the house with your mother's a crackhead, your father's a crackhead, you don't got no money, and the best way he can get it is in them streets. How you gonna tell him he doing wrong?
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people say, oh, no, well I didn't have to do it and I didn't do it, but that was you.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? That was you. You didn't do it, but some people are forced to do that.
Yeah.
Now, who am I to say what they're doing is right or wrong? Because, you know, all over the world, I don't care what color you are, what nationality you are, all over the world, if you don't eat, you're going to die.
Yeah.
That's one thing that everybody knows. So how you going to tell a person how they eating is right or wrong? And that's pretty much the moral to the story. But like a lot of us let greed take it to a whole nother level. Now it goes from eating to a car to a chain to a watch to a, you know what I'm saying, to clothes, and you know it's all. But what a lot of dudes don't never tell you is, we only do that for the women. We don't do that because we want other dudes to admire the way we dress or the way we look or the way our car look. Our motivation is women. You know what I'm saying? So everything we do is for them. You know, when you go to the barbershop, you ain't going to the barbershop so you can get a haircut for a dude.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of people like to groom themselves, that's one thing, but the majority of the males do everything that we do to impress a woman.
Yeah.
So, you know, so now your motivation is different. So now you're doing things now for materialistic, you know, to fit in. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't doing it because, you know, at first you was doing it because you was hungry.
Yeah.
Now you're doing it to fit in. Now you're doing it to impress other people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's so much. And, you know, I done seen a lot of them dudes talking, but they not really explaining to them cats, them young cats, girls and boys, like, this lifestyle, man, is not a glamorous lifestyle.
Oh yeah.
You know, because you can get all that stuff and jump in your car and drive down the street, and there's a little 13, 14-year-old dude see it and want it and kill you, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And it's that easy. And
So
a lot of people don't understand that. They be like,
you're doing it to keep up with appearances, but then you're attracting attention for places you don't want.
yeah,
So it could be somebody who wants what you got, or it could be the cops watching.
yeah, but you know, the cops always watch because they always got a snitch in the streets. But a lot of people don't care. When you out there in that world, man, you don't sit around and say, well, I wonder what happened if I get 30 years. Nobody thinks like that. Nobody in the ghetto goes to the law library. I'm gonna go to the law library and see if I do this, how much time. Nobody does that. When you caught up in that getting money is an addiction, like anything else.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like anything else, man. It's an addiction. Is that the wind?
That's what it sounds like.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So I guess you say the addiction goes both ways, man. Not just for the feed, but a person hustling and
Yeah,
thrive off of that. Oh, I just sold this. Like it was nothing.
yeah. And you ain't really caring about, when crack came, people were selling to people's mothers that we grew up just like, just say me and you was crack dealer. My mother smoked crack
Yeah.
when we was partners. You selling to my mother now. It wasn't no boundaries. It was just, that crack ruined pretty much everything. It made a lot of people wealthy, but it ruined everything that we was once standing for.
Yeah.
Drugs been here. Drugs been here. We ain't gonna say, drugs. No, drugs been here.
Yeah.
From pills to, PCP to heroin, all that. But that crack, it was something else. It was something else, man. It was something else. It's like, girls you in high school and you like them, but they don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
And then crack came, and all them girls start, they fast and they now they smoking crack. Now you can do whatever you want to them, and that was like worse than anything because we was just belittling each other and not really realizing. Now I can tell you this now at 53 years old, but back then you don't look at everything the way, like your parents will, how they tell you, yeah, you need to grow up like this and you grow up like this. But like I said, once you get out there with your friends, when you get in the streets or wherever you doing sports or whatever, you ain't really thinking about what moms and pops be talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You out there trying to do what you trying to do now.
Or maybe after the fact it happens and you probably think about it.
Yeah. Or when you get older, when you start looking back on it and you be like, yeah, you did a lot of goofy stuff. But you made it through.
Yeah.
It's like, like all my homies that's still here and living, that's all we say. Homie, out of all the stuff we've been through, we still here, man. I got a lot of homies never even made it to 18.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mamas was getting killed at 15, 14, coming from high school, walking home, getting smoked, and it was real life, you know what I'm saying? We going to funerals,
Oh yeah.
Probably twice a month. Probably more than that, but I'm just, telling you, yeah. And we talking about kids back then. So it was totally different, man. What's going on now is the world is so caught up on technology that they kind of ruining the kids and not really understanding. That right there, that's a monster. That's a monster. That's like the boogeyman. You let somebody leave their phone at home and how miserable they gonna be all day until they go back and get it. And that's crazy. And then the 5G come out, the new phone. Now everybody want it. And them young dudes gonna do whatever they gotta do to get it.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, they keep you looking this way so you don't see all the stuff that's going on this way. It's like a whole big plan that, the average cat don't really care about, but, like I said, when you get older, you understand, like, we've been looking this way the whole time, but all the stuff going on over here. The whole time.
Keep us distracted.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's what crack did. That's what crack did. It had us so caught up on killing, and I'm not even meaning killing with a gun, because every time you saw the woman crack or a male crack and all that, it was killing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but, it was that old saying, somebody got to come down before I can come up.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so, and that was our way of thinking. We wasn't caring about, we tearing up our own communities. You know what I'm saying? We ain't looking at it like that, like everybody like, why would y'all burn down your own? I was in jail with all that. I mean, but what they don't understand
Is that like the Rodney
right.
King? Yeah. He was in jail then?
Yeah. That's when I was doing my state time. At 7.5 years.
So, from some old footage I see on news when they use a battering ram, do you know any people, relatives, had their houses raided like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a dude, I mentioned him earlier, Mixed Master Spade. He made a song about that. If you ever go back in the archive, his name is Mixed Master Spade. The song was called The Battle Ram.
Oh.
And he talks about it, yeah, because, yeah, that thing wasn't no joke. It was like a tank with an armor. It just knocks everything down. Like, you know, in the houses back then,
Oh, yeah.
she guys, ghetto houses, they couldn't take that. People be so scared from the shock of it, you ain't got time to run or none of that.
I mean, I remember seeing one incident where they did that to a lady and they didn't even have no drugs. But they claimed that, oh, they're undercover boss from there. And when I'm looking at it, I was like, no, that's gotta be bullshit. I think just to cover themselves up.
Or they probably was using her house to sell out of. She probably wasn't doing it. Or she had kids, probably was selling drugs in front of her house. It could have been
Either one.
yeah, you know, because like I said, when the crack came, you know, people was giving up everything, man. Their cars, you know, brand new cars, you get it, you know, you give them a $20 piece, and you get a brand new car.
That reminds me of an incident a few years ago. I got in a wreck. She was there, my brother-in-law was there. I ended up breaking my arm. Right here, right there. Some dude was willing to sign his title over to me for 7 of my pain pills.
Yeah.
People were hitting me up on Facebook saying, oh, here's my number. You'll really be helping me out. I'm like, I guess it's fucking me then, huh? But, you know, I think I need these pills more than you, though. I'm feeling the fucking pain.
Yeah.
But it didn't bother them with it. I guess that's how it has them.
And so how are you going to talk to them and make them see the reality of their situation?
Yeah, it's like the common sense goes out the window.
They have none. They have none. I told you, if you would, how can you care about me when you are every day killing yourself? There's no way possible. There's no way possible you can care about me in any shape, form, or fashion when you every day putting drugs in your body, knowing that you're going to die.
Yeah. And at that point is when you OD or when your body finally gives up.
Yeah.
When you're shooting this shit and your veins can't hold it, your heart can't take it, your brain can't take it, your liver, kidneys.
I think in that drug world, the strangest thing I've seen, somebody takes some drugs and they die, everybody wants it. That's the good stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's the good stuff. I never understood that. You want to get that you've seen just killed your partner.
Yeah.
You want more of that. Really?
Yeah, because you have no common sense no more. Or you'd be like, oh, he couldn't handle it.
That's when you get to the point where you don't care about nothing.
Oh yeah, because when you're under the influence of that, it's like emotions, it blocks it. Your brain blocks it.
See, I don't believe none of that stuff either. Tell you why.
Alright?
Because when they need some more, they sure can think to get it.
Oh, yeah.
They can think of a plot and a plan to rob, break in a house, do something. So it ain't got nothing to do with their mental. Yeah, everybody tries to make excuses or try to figure out why. Everybody don't understand. Everything is choice.
Yeah.
Everything is
That's true.
choice. If you choose to do that, who am I to stop?
Right.
You already made that choice. Even with the kids. Whatever they doing, smoking meth, stealing, walking around with guns, all that stuff, stupid stuff. If they believe in it and they made the choice to do it, we can give 100,000 interviews and ain't nothing gonna change. If you see everything, the crack epidemic gonna turn into a meth epidemic.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Same thing, just different drug.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, everybody's doing meth now. That was a white drug back in the day. Black people didn't do meth. You go through any ghetto now, Compton, anywhere, and everybody's on meth.
Is that because it's cheaper? Cheaper than the other drugs?
I ain't never seen none. Like I said, I've been locked up. I ain't, I just heard about it and then I got out and seen what everybody was talking about.
Yeah, because when it spreads too, it spreads to the rural areas, through middle of America.
Yeah.
When I was going to school down in Riverside, this was in '04, it was the meth capital. A couple of years later, it was Portland, Oregon. Then it was the whole state of Montana.
See, because in Riverside, it's almost like country. It's a lot of wooded areas where they can cook it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't really know that. See, when I was out there, they didn't even have no sidewalks. They didn't have,
Like, what do you mean, no sidewalks? Like,
when you walk down the street. You come out your yard.
but what part of the city?
I don't know. I don't know exactly. I don't know east, west, north.
Well, Magnolia is like the main one. Magnolia Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it turns into Madison, if I remember right. I haven't been down there for like maybe 13, 14 years.
I ain't been down there probably about 40 years. I used to live in Moreno Valley. Meade Valley is right next to Riverside.